This is Plant-Based Briefing. Eating more plants can delay age bursts in your 40s and 60s by Starostinetskaya at vegnews.com. And I'm Marian Erickson, your host. This is the curated-content plant-based podcast where I narrate a variety of articles on healthy, compassionate, and sustainable living with permission in about 10 minutes or less every weekday. And I'm pleased to have permission from Veg News to share their content. And I want to give a quick shout out to a listener, my new friend from Australia at Carrie Everlasting. She listens on YouTube and always comments and is engaged with the podcast, and hardly anybody does comment on YouTube, so I really appreciate her. Anyway, last week she commented and said, "I'm very glad you do what you do. Probably long after we're gone, these videos will serve as a library of knowledge far into the future. It's a labor of love. Thank you." And oh my gosh, that just brought my spirits up so much because this podcast does take a lot of work. It takes me a full day to record 5 episodes and get them published. That's on a good day. I'm not the most organized person by any means, so sometimes I get a little frustrated and think, oh, I wish I didn't have to do this. But then I give my head a shake and I remember why I'm doing this. So I realize it's completely selfish when I get frustrated with how much work is involved, but comments like that make it so worthwhile to know that people are listening and hopefully all this work is having an impact. So that was so sweet. And if any of you listening could take a minute to leave a review, I'd really appreciate that as well, because that might help others decide to listen. And the more who can listen and educate themselves, the better off we all are. So thank you for all that. And now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. Eating more plants can delay age bursts in your 40s and 60s by Starostinetskaya at vegnews.com. Aging might not occur as gradually as we previously thought, with research pointing to 2 age bursts at 44 and 60. Here's what you should eat now to promote healthy aging. Up until recently, humans have thought of aging as a process that gradually occurs from year to year. However, new research has suggested that aging might not be as linear as we think and can occur in significant bursts, particularly around the ages of 44 and 60. According to the Stanford University study linked here, which was limited in sample size to 108 individuals aged 25 to 75 in California, these bursts are marked by declines in metabolism, immune function, kidney health, and muscle mass. Physical activity and cognitive engagement play a pivotal role in determining how well people age during these critical periods. Understanding and addressing these shifts, particularly through diet, may help individuals mitigate some of the effects of aging during these periods, explains Tanner Gish, certified dementia practitioner and director of operations at Loving Home Care, Inc., focusing on holistic care, including nutrition-based interventions for aging populations. In the 40s and 50s, metabolic and immune function can decline due to hormonal changes, oxidative stress, and inflammation, Gish tells Veg News. A plant-based diet rich in antioxidants, fiber, and anti-inflammatory compounds can help counteract these effects. The science behind the age bursts. According to the Stanford study, rapid changes in thousands of molecules were observed at ages 44 and 60. The research followed participants tracking more than 135,000 distinct molecules and microbes over several years. We're not just changing gradually over time, there are some really dramatic changes in the mid-40s as in the early 60s, Michael Snyder, Ph.D., professor of genetics and lead author of the study, said in a statement. These changes were particularly evident in molecules related to lipid and carbohydrate metabolism, kidney function, immune regulation, and cardiovascular disease. The study found that while some shifts were expected, such as those linked to menopause or metabolic slowdowns, others were surprising. Both men and women showed significant shifts in alcohol, caffeine, and lipid metabolism in their mid-40s, as well as changes in muscle and skin health. In their 60s, participants experienced declines in carbohydrate metabolism and immune function, with markers for cardiovascular disease becoming more prominent. How eating plants can help mitigate age bursts. As these rapid biological changes take place, diet becomes a critical factor in mitigating the effects. Specifically, Gish notes that focusing on cruciferous vegetables, whole grains, nuts, and seeds is key. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, kale, and Brussels sprouts are rich in sulforaphane, which can reduce oxidative stress and boost immune function, Gish says. A statement supported by research published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry supports the role of sulforaphane in lowering oxidative damage, a key factor in the aging process. Whole grains such as quinoa and barley can also help manage metabolic shifts by providing complex carbohydrates that stabilize blood sugar levels. Gut health is key to both immune and metabolic health, Gish emphasizes, citing research linked here from the Nutrients Journal, which shows how fiber-rich whole grains support the gut microbiome, playing a significant role in maintaining overall health during midlife. Omega-3 fatty acids found in flax seeds and walnuts are also essential for reducing inflammation and supporting brain and heart health. These fatty acids are critical in combating the chronic inflammation that drives age-related diseases, Gish says. These plant-based sources offer protective benefits as oxidative stress and inflammation rise in your 40s, supporting kidney and carbohydrate metabolism around age 60. In the 60s, kidney function and carbohydrate metabolism decline, marking another burst of aging as found in the Stanford study. Gish points out that plant-based proteins can provide a safer alternative to animal proteins, which may strain the kidneys. Legumes like lentils and chickpeas offer plant-based protein without the harmful effects on the kidneys, Gish says. A 2020 study in the Journal of Renal Nutrition further supports this, indicating that plant-based diets may reduce the risk of chronic kidney disease progression. For those concerned with managing blood sugar levels as insulin sensitivity decreases, low glycemic index foods such as sweet potatoes, oats, and non-starchy vegetables can help maintain stable blood glucose. Managing carbohydrates through low glycemic plant-based options is key in this age group, as it can prevent dangerous blood sugar spikes, Gish says. In addition, oxidant-rich berries such as blueberries and cranberries offer support for kidney health. Berries have powerful anti-inflammatory properties that help reduce oxidative stress on the kidneys, Gish explains, a claim also backed by research published in Phytotherapy Research. Managing muscle loss and cholesterol as you age. One of the significant challenges for those entering their 60s is sarcopenia, or muscle loss, as well as managing cholesterol levels. Gish points out that plant-based proteins, particularly from sources such as tofu, tempeh, and legumes, provide essential amino acids that support muscle maintenance. A plant-based diet can deliver the necessary protein to maintain muscle mass, even as people age, Gish says, referencing a 2021 study in the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia, and Muscle, which showed that adequate protein intake from plant sources can help individuals retain muscle mass in later life. Additionally, cholesterol management becomes increasingly important as the risk of cardiovascular disease rises. Gish recommends incorporating soluble fiber from oats, beans, and lentils, as these foods help reduce LDL cholesterol according to a growing body of research linked here. Soluble fiber has been shown to lower LDL cholesterol, making it a key component of a heart-healthy plant-based diet, Gish says. Healthy fats from sources like avocados and nuts can also help raise HDL cholesterol, further supporting cardiovascular health and helping to keep those age bursts in check. You just listened to Eating More Plants Can Delay Age Bursts in Your 40s and 60s by Anna Starostinetskaya at vegnews.com, and I'm your host, Marian Erickson. Please share this episode with anyone who might benefit, and thanks for listening.